Hello, everybody. It's Friday. That means it's time for another topic of the week. First things first, last week's topic about Warhammer World. A lot of good discussion there. Another quick shout out to everybody who I got to visit with and who I got to play games against. So thank you again to Rem and to Steve Wren. It was awesome, as well as everybody I met. Thanks, Ben Johnson and Rob and everybody. It was great to meet everybody, to talk to everybody, etc. And I hope to be able to go back sometime sooner rather than later. Also, a little shout out to Tyler Mingle, who went up to me by not just going this week, but also then getting on the live stream. You cheater. No, it's awesome. I was great to see him there. It looks like he got some good games in, and I see that he was attracted to the same table I was, which was the first game I played on, that awesome desert table they have with all the sweet statues. Very super cool, like Tomb King's table. Anyway, good stuff. As always, last week's topic, it's linked down there. There it is. You can see it right down there below. This week's topic. So, between the show this week and some videos have been going around, there's been a lot of discussion of the Empire in all of its various forms. And that got me thinking got me on a little nostalgia trip. And that got me thinking about a good topic of the week that I'm shocked that I've never done, but I have not. I had to actually go back and look at the list of near 100 topics of the week we've done to make sure I didn't do it because I felt so obvious. And that is your first army and why you collected it. And my first army was the Empire. I have a couple examples here from that I still have because I still have a lot of my original Empire army. So here is one of my early knights that I painted. You can see he's a little communist. That was my portion of the army. I was very proud of this paint job when I originally did it. I looked at that and I thought, yes, I have figured out this painting thing. I'm ready to go. Obviously, this is terrible, but hey, there we are. Look, and here's a second one for you. Super fun. The old Empire War Wagon, painted as close as an approximation of the scheme that was on the box as I could do. This is an age before washes, people. Let me just point that out. You take it. Everybody today, you've got your shades. You kids with your shades, so spoiled. I like how I didn't even pick out the little I don't know, whatever these are, rings or whatever on the side. Just didn't seem necessary, I guess. So the Empire was my first army. I picked it mainly because it was something that people had available in figs for me. A lot of my knights were actually like Battle Masters knights because they were basically Empire knights. If you remember the game Battle Masters, and I just kind of used those and then and slowly collected like other sorts of knights from either starter boxes or I think I probably had some like Bretonnian knights because I think I started playing in '97 and the Bretonnian versus Lizardmen box had just come out. I think not or came out shortly after. So like knights were around, and I don't think I really made much of a difference in my mind to use a Bretonnian knight or an Empire knight. My cannons were probably all Battle Masters cannons. That feels about right. It was a real cobbled together force, and I played it because it was, I guess the sort of the human nature of it appealed to me. What I mean by that is I liked the Holy Roman Empire and I liked the feel of it. I liked having guns and knights and guys on foot and stuff like that. I thought that was a neat combination. The sort of synergistic value of it appealed to me right from the beginning. It wasn't just a like take one thing and it was incredible army. In addition, it was a real underdog army, to be very honest. So the time I started playing, like the 4th edition Empire book was still basically the Empire book that was out, and it really was not good. That army was bad. Like your cannons were pretty good, but that was it. I had some cannons that were pretty decent, and then a bunch of garbage. Keep in mind this is an age before Steadfast and things like that. This is an age where your Chaos Knights and stuff were. I need to go back and look, but I seem to remember many people in the Chaos Army having lots of 9s and 6s on their stats. This is an age where Bloodthirsters could like fly high and then come down and wipe out one of your units, and there was no step up even. So if the front 5 guys died, nobody in your unit fought. This was a much different era of Warhammer, to be very clear. And so my little guys, there was a lot of punishment. It was a rough time. As many know, if you've watched enough of my videos and I've shared this story, I very quickly moved on from the Empire to the Under Empire, to my Skaven right there. Now that isn't my original Skaven army, although there are still some figs from it. My original Skaven army was sold off a while back to replace it with that one. But in the end, Skaven suited my personality more because it still had the synergistic nature and all the different types of troops and things, but also was horribly evil and malign and random and insane. And so I felt that aligned to my personality much better. But I do still always hold a special place in my heart for my first army, which was, the Empire. And there is something cool about that sort of maybe pre-Renaissance high. I don't know the era. It doesn't really matter. None of them are based on any real eras. This is a fantasy world. To me, any alignment with history is coincidence and should be taken as such, or inspiration at least, because you can't place these things in reality. Last time I checked, steam tanks didn't ever exist in history, or at least not in this time period in that way. Let's be very clear what we're talking about here. And if you don't like that example, that's fine. Dragons didn't exist in history. Better now? All right, great. But I always do have a soft spot for them. I love the sort of people of the Empire being the bulwark against chaos. I thought that was always just a neat story that, though they're just men, they do their best. I think that probably translates, when I eventually started playing 40k a few years later, I went and, of course, immediately picked Imperial Guard and once again had a bunch of crappy troops and pretty sweet cannons. Although the cannons were way better in 40k, I will admit that. They really figured out the cannon technology in many 40,000 years in the future or whatever it's supposed to be. So that's this week's topic. What was your first army? How long did you play it? That's a good question because I think that there's something interesting for how long you stick with your first army. Like, how well did you nail what your first army was? I stuck with my Empire boys for, I would say, a little less than a year, which I think is pretty good, before moving on to Skaven, where I picked up a big lot on eBay. But I got a good year of play out of them, maybe a little less. I'm happy these knights still sometimes get used on our table, perhaps sadly, but sometimes they do still get used. I've got a friend who regularly plays various Imperial formation type stuff, and so he uses those knights. Though the War Wagon sadly doesn't roll out as often. Real shame. Soon though, it's coming. It's coming back. So, what was your first army? How long did you play it? And why did you initially collect it? And if you switched, why did you switch? There you go. That's this week's topic. I'm very excited to see the responses for this one. As always, drop it down in the comments below, or if you prefer, make a video response and then link in the comments to that video, or I'll notice it if I happen to be subscribed to you. And I will link all those videos down in the description, so you can always return here and watch all those responses. Look forward to seeing all the discussion. Look forward to seeing what everybody's first love was and how long did that sweet first love last. Sadly, most first loves, just like in real life, are not forever. So, there you go. All right. Thank you very much, everybody. As always, we'll see you next time.